Dolphins do it with Miami Dolphins.
The pressure, he's in trouble. Loses the football. Touchdown! Got it!
You have got to be kidding me.
Jaylen Waddle. It's a Dolphin touchdown.
Throwing deep upfield on the near side, man open, touchdown! Looking deep, he's got a man! Touchdown!
The run from Tua Tagovailoa.
Touchdown!
He's going deep! He's got it for the touchdown! He's in! Touchdown!
Tagovailoa trying to reach up for it. Fire to the end zone. Touchdown!
Beautiful day to be a Dolphin fan. Let's go!
What is good, Fin Nation? What's good? It's your boy Reason, and we are back here for another one. Hope all of y'all are having a fantastic weekend. Happy Easter to all of you, whether you celebrate the egg hunts, the religious aspect, whatever the case may be. I hope it was a lovely day for you and your loved ones, especially the children, because, you know, people can make this, you know, as holy as they want, but at the end of the day, Easter, really, it's another one of those, you know, holidays that's been commercialized by the machine, and really, at the end of the day, it's just about the kids having fun. That's how I view it. As long as the kids have a great day and a fantastic day, then I feel like I done my job. So, hope everyone is having an absolutely blessed weekend. Man, how about those Jets? Huh? How about those Jets? How are they feeling right now? Apparently, it's come out. They had they had the chance to match the Ravens deal, which OBJ has just signed, $15 million guaranteed, up to $18 million for 1 year. Desperate times call for desperate measures, and the Jets declined to match it. So, hey, that is crazy. They probably said to Aaron, "Hey, man, we like you. We want you to come here, but we ain't that crazy." Let's make this an even better Easter Sunday, though. Someone announced that Aaron Rodgers has turned down the New York Jets. Come on, please. Please, let's see it. Come on, that's got to be the next one up, no? Rodgers to the Ravens, says Robert. So, yeah, OBJ has signed a 1 year, $18 million deal with the Ravens, $15 million of that guaranteed. The Jets, OBJ apparently, according to a New York outlet, OBJ gave the Jets the chance to match it, and the Jets declined. Listen, it's the smartest move the Jets have made all offseason by declining that. I wouldn't pay OBJ $18 million. Are you crazy? He got more. OBJ just got more money than any free agent receiver on the market this offseason. So, I don't know, man. I don't know. I think I wouldn't have matched that. So, I think the Jets didn't actually. You got to give them. I wouldn't have caved to OBJ at $18 million for 1 year. Are you crazy? Are you crazy? Already bad enough. You know, they traded Elijah Moore and they went out and they got Alan Lazard. Like, that's going to fix the problem. So, man. Anyways, shout out to all of you who are in the chat right now already. Shout out to Blake, Aladino, Coke Master, DF, Hammer, Barry, Marino's Goat, Regil, Stetson, Knight, Upland, Canada, Melvin McConnell, J. Rose, Denisha, Jason, Big Heck, Taryn, Chris, Kurok, 1972, Q, Andrew Harris, Barney, Duke, Trapstar 187, like the Jeezy, spelled like the Jeezy song. I love it. Roy, how you doing? Caddyshack. James Steele out here. How's it going, man? J Fam, Pat's gang. What do we got? D Howard, how are you doing, sir? Edward Andrews, how are you? Spawn. Hopefully, I've got the real life Spawn in my chat right now because I was a huge fan of that comic growing up. Adrian Gonzalez, Ernesto, Jeff Fremont, Finn Fella, Randy, The Show, Anthony, Jeff. What's up, Anthony? How you doing, brother? Jeffrey, Todd, how you doing? EJ9803, Jason, Troy Hicks, how's it going? 300 Egos, how are you doing, sir? Shout out tonight, getting it off. I can care less about the legs. Look at that neck. We're going to talk about that in a sec here. And shout out for the donation, guys. This is going to be one of the few shows all year where I ask you to donate probably multiple times in the show because I'm probably going to get demonetized. We got the offensive tackle big board coming tonight, and, man, a lot of work went into this, guys. Man, what people don't realize, all right, I'm going to tell you this right now. Trench work is the hardest to evaluate, and it's also the hardest to make highlight reels for. So, you know, and that's on both sides of the ball. So, well, you know, like defensive tackles, right? So a lot of work went into this one since a lot of work has gone into this to putting this together for all of y'all. So I hope you enjoy that. If you can, become a member to the channel, become a Patreon for as low as $2. Patreon.com, Phinside The NFL. Both come with perks. Speaking of Patrons, latest episode of 3 Takes will come out later tonight. I've just been focusing on getting this ready. I've also been dealing with you know, trying to get the images and everything together because, yeah, just that's been a situation this weekend as well. So these are the only episodes I will, you know, stress. If you can donate, if you can, at the least you can do, please smash the like button. All right, that helps me a ton too for these type of videos, so please smash the like button as well. Let's just get this into, help me out with my friend Al algorithm, get me into that algorithm with as simple as a like. So yeah, we got a ton of stuff we're gonna go over to. LA Knight, yeah. Oh man, Randy, I like that donation. All right, it's a fun donation right there. I'm a fan. Thank you for the donation, good sir. I appreciate it a ton. Thank you. All right. Let's go into, we got some donations coming through. I appreciate it, ladies and gentlemen. Reason, so you don't like Quentin Barrow, Grand Valley State. Brother, I only had time to watch I watched 25 tackles. 4 of them I moved to guard. 1 of them obviously didn't make my top 20. And Barrow was not in my top, you know, I can only watch so many, right? I tell everyone that I try to watch about 25 prospects for each position I do. When I do 5 big boards, understand that's me watching 125 prospects, and I'm not even counting prospects of positions outside of big boards. Like, I always like to watch my quarterbacks. So I at least watch about 15, 20 quarterbacks. I normally watch, people don't realize I talk about this every year. I always watch about 150, 160, 170 prospects. I don't have time, right? So when I got 5 big boards I got to pump out and I got to watch, I watch these kids through the years, right? Like Penei Sewell is watching some Frenchman, et cetera, et cetera. That's what I mean by that. Not everyone I watch for years, but anyways, you get where I'm going here. So I got to watch these kids through the season while I'm doing this show. Then I got to really start ramping it up when the offseason starts. So I just don't have time. You know what I mean? So, and a lot of people only watch 2 or 3 great games of a prospect. I don't. I try to watch minimum, like, if I've got access to going back to years. So I try to watch about 4 or 5 a year at least to get a feel. So I watch a lot of football when I'm not on the screen. So some other people out here lie about it, but you can tell that I actually do it. So, yeah, I mean, I just don't have that kind of time, man. So he was just just didn't make it by time. So I can't give you an educated answer of whether I like him or not. That's what the end game of that comment is, basically. So I have to plead ignorance. 300 Egos donated 10. He said, I got you, brother. Keep the content coming. Always, brother. Always. And, I've had to get ahead of the game while I've been doing these boards. I'm getting ahead on basically defensive tackles. I have been since I got word at the end of March, because I have a feeling when you guys vote for the 5th and final board, that's what you guys are going to vote for. So I've been getting ahead on now. You guys might throw me a curveball and vote edge. The next board that's coming next week is going to be linebacker. All right. And then the final big board, I'm going to have you guys vote. It's going to be center, guard, defensive tackle, or safety. Those are the options I'm basically going to give channel members and Patreons to vote. All right. So they'll vote on the 5th and final. I would recommend defensive tackle if you are listening right now. The show donated $5, said thanks for bringing A+ content. I appreciate you, sir. And I got to say this is funny too. Anyone who's on social media, notice how reason again. I go on Twitter this weekend. Everyone's, oh my God, defensive tackle. All these people are right. We should be looking at defensive tackle. Excuse me. I've been talking about defensive tackle and them exploring the defensive tackle at 50, 51, and 84 for over 2 weeks now. 2 weeks now. What are we? And I got the Patreon post to prove it. Huh? Now all of a sudden I see, we got to focus on. I see people, all of a sudden defensive tackle is their top need at 51 now. When these same people were talking tight ends and linebackers just 2 weeks ago. While I was talking about, what have I said? I was ahead of the offensive line. I was warning all of you about offensive tackle. People started taking that seriously. You started popping up on social media. Same thing with defensive tackle in the trenches. I've now been telling people, they're sniffing around. I even dropped names. One, I said, I knew they had a top 30 visit with Carl Brooks before he's even announced. And I was telling people, look, this guy plays inside out like Ogba. Don't look at him just as an edge. He's a defensive end, defensive tackle. I've been warning people. Right? I was giving Keanu Benton's name the night before it popped up in a Barry Jackson article the next day. Bro, I'm just saying, I don't got a crystal ball out here, but, while other people out here trying to hit on big breaking news and they continually missing, these are the type of details, if you can tell, of who knows what they're talking about, who's plugged in, who's not, when little details like this start coming out. So be plugged in. That's all I got to say. Listen to the right people. I say it all the time. Listen, when it comes to plugged in stuff, the people I will, outside of what we do on Phinside the NFL and the people I bring on here, the 3 yards per carry guys are really good. Listen to the 3 yards. Alf, that's my guy right there. Alf is a very good person to listen to. So, but there's not many people I hang my hat on and go to bat for like that. So they are good to listen to. I will say this. As much as here's the thing. I get ahead and tell you this is what I'm hearing. This is what I'm hearing. And some people get it construed with that's what I'm feeling or what I want. Trust me, do I want a defensive tackle at 51? Hell no. Now, if Mazzy Smith is there at 51, we got to have a conversation. Thanks for all your hard work, brother. I appreciate it, Robert Carrillo. It always continue. I do the hard work for you guys and no one else, man. You guys are the fam, right? So y'all are my motivation. So, you complete me. So, yeah, let's, but now you're seeing other big names saying, yeah, take it seriously because defensive tackle, it's on the list, man. And that's why, running back was the first one I put out. And I've told all of y'all, I've been telling y'all for weeks, I think running back's down the priority. I've said offensive line, defensive tackle, and tight end feel like much higher priorities right now than running back. Now, if someone special falls in the lap at 51 like Jamar Gibbs, I'm sure the conversation, you know what I mean, is going to be had. Okay, you know what I mean? But I don't, I don't see Jamar getting there. I say it every year. 2 guys are going to go, and I think Jamar is going to go. I don't think he's getting out. I just don't think he's getting out. So I do not see him getting out. So anyways, we'll see how the draft works out. It's going to be interesting. As always, like we do every year, we're going to have the panel here, especially for night 2. So, because we'll be making 2 selections, hopefully on night 2, but we will be live on night 1 as well. So, as always, you already know where it comes. We'll give you evaluations and in-depth analysis as soon as guys are selected, right? So, and someone asked me on Twitter today, and I didn't have a chance. I forgot to reply, and maybe I'll hit him back. Shout out to Eric. He says, "Hey man, does placing armed security in schools to protect kids make sense to you? Not sure why that bill got rejected and people aren't outraged." I'm not American. I can't speak on that, bro. I can't speak on that. Again, I'm not American, so I'm not even educated on that bill enough. I'm not even well versed on that bill enough to comment on it. If I was, I would. So I usually don't let YouTube and viewership hold back from giving my views. I'm just not educated enough on it, so I can't give you an educated answer. So if I can't, just like earlier on Barrow, if I can't give you an educated answer, I'm not one of these people that's going to sit up here and fake it till I make it. You know what I mean? So, but I appreciate the donation, Eric. If you have a football question you want to ask without a donation, I'd be happy to answer that in replace to that. No problem. So, just out of fairness, obviously. So, yeah, it's funny, Jason. I said these people are probably going to try to turn OBJ signing with the Ravens into Lamar coming to Miami. It's hilarious. Oh, another donation. I appreciate that, brother. Yeah, if I had the insight to give, man, I would. I have to look up on the bill. I didn't even know there was a bill in front of Congress. I didn't even know something was at that stage. Like the most recent thing I've seen on the internet is that on Twitter, is that thing you pull off the wall and it creates a safe room right off the wall. I think that's freaking genius and should probably be installed. I mean, especially in open carry states, something like that needs to be installed. But, like the sheriff, and I saw the sheriff in, where was that? It was in some South Florida district setting, You could put any law in place and the bad guys are still going to get the guns. And he's right. Like, I'm not going to get into it here because it's a football platform, but all you got to do is the research of who's putting the guns, in the, how do I properly word this? All you got to do is do the research, and throughout the 80s and such, look at who is feeding the guns into these, poverty-stricken communities where minorities lived. All you got to do is do the research. So that's all I'm going to say about that. But, I did see the video of them opening, safe rooms right off the wall. I thought that was freaking genius. And listen, should cops be in school, man? I mean, I don't know, man. I can't just think about the fact we've come to this as a society. It's 2023. We were supposed to grow and get better, raise to different levels of consciousness, and here we are, still living like cavemen for the technology we have. Listen to you hear all these advanced AIs coming on, the things these AIs are saying. And then you look at, these AIs wish they could feel and all this stuff. And then we got out here and we take everything for granted and we're out here. Listen, I'm going to tell you this much. Anyone who's out there willing to harm a child, you do not belong on this earth. You should be eviscerated from this earth this moment. And people out here that do that kind of stuff, I can't believe we have not actually grown as a people. We keep regressing. It's crazy. It is crazy right now. And as a parent of 2 young children, like, listen, I'm not going to use the word fear, but I am concerned and worried for my children's future growing up in the state of this world, because it's only going to get worse. Bills aren't what they seem. They lump 100 other things in a bill that should only be one page. Read bills before passing judgment. Yeah, I haven't read the bill. Exactly. That's why. I can't sit up here and give an educated, I can't be out here and give an educated. I haven't read it. So, anyways, man, it's Easter Rail here. We're talking politics. So, yeah, what we're going to do here, I got a couple things I want to go over. Got some clips we want to go over here because, listen, Tua right now, he is bricked up. And as someone, again, first channel out here to feature in this community, to feature Perform and Nick Hicks, and really the first person in this community to really back him on, on Twitter or YouTube from day one and really throw my full weight and support behind him. And every time he's come on here, anyone who's been watching since his first interview on here, you remember first year about was rebuilding him from the ground up, right? Second year was about strengthening and conditioning, and now you're starting to build that. And now you see he's starting to build that body. Now you see he's starting to get the body you're seeing right now. We are behind on. This is what he should have been working on last year. Where he was last year, that should have been his first offseason, but he was dealing with repairing the hip injury, right? So think about it. We're always going to be a season behind of where his body should have been at and where he should have been at in growth as an athlete, because that hip took an offseason away. Really, two, because the second one you had to rebuild it. So this is, the first real offseason he's building off the strength and the conditioning he built last year when he started packing on the muscle after getting his body right in the first year he performed. So it's been a great growth to watch, and we're going to take a look at it. So shout out to Nick, man. He does a fantastic job. Oh, he's a good guy. Eric says, I love it. Always appreciate your thoughts on across many ideas, brother. Biggest name you're hearing and highest chance of draft prospect. Listen, I'm going to tell you this much. I think if Darnell Washington is in range, I think I could see them trying to trade up. I do not put that out of the realm of possibility for this team at all. I'm just being honest with you. Do I think they'd trade up for Jamar Gibbs if he's sliding? Maybe. I know they tried to trade back into the first to get Najee, and the prices they were getting were just out of this world because everyone knew what they were trying to trade up for. So I know they tried to trade up for that for Najee. I know that. And they just said, no, we're not moving up. So we'll see what happens. We'll see. Could a center be a 51 pick? It's very interesting. Very, very interesting. Very interesting if John Michael Schmitz is on the board there and you have Connor Williams. Because I do know Connor Williams is a priority. So we'll see it go on. We'll see how it happens. How it all goes down. But let's get into this. First of all, if you didn't know, if you didn't see it, check this out. Braxton, Berrios, and Waddle, they're working with one of the they're working with some of the best one of the best route running and footwork companies out there right now. So they are legit. They are. I'm pretty sure. I think they were called. Let me look it up right here. I believe they're called Golden Feet, if I remember correctly. Just give me one sec here, and I'll find the name of that. I'm pretty sure it was Golden Feet, and they are. I know they're on Instagram. You can follow them on Instagram, and they are legit. Braxton's putting work in with them. Yeah, they're called Gold Feet. You can follow them on Twitter, Gold Feet Formula, and they're legit. And check this out. This is Braxton Berrios and Jaylen Waddle. I love how Braxton has arrived and is getting right to work with our quarterback. I told y'all when we got him, Braxton's gonna have a career year. You watch.
Get up out of there. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Go get him. Go get him. Go get him. Go get him. Yes, sir.
I'm saying, we talk about Duke Manyweather and his ability at OL Masterminds to work with offensive linemen. I've watched Gold Feet for quite a while on Instagram, and I'm telling you, man, they've worked with a lot of guys around the league, and they do lock down some amazing footwork. So, I mean, go check them out. Gold Feet Global, they are for real. Shout out to them, Braxton, and you see Waddle, man. Waddle got those nasty releases, and he started working with them last offseason. That's why you noticed Jaylen Waddle's release package last year was nasty. If people watch, he was giving Sauce Gardner the freaking work every time him and Sauce lined up with each other. Jaylen didn't just get targeted enough in those games, but he was open a ton in that Skyler game against Sauce, and Skyler just wasn't throwing him the football. But he was open. If you go back and watch the tape, Sauce was having an easier job on Tyreek than he was on Jaylen Waddle. Go back and watch the tape if you don't believe me. Swear to God, go back and watch the tape. I'm telling you, man. And Braxton Berrios, you guys know I wanted him last year. You know how much I loved this signing when it happened. This guy is the real deal, man. I think we've got Cedric's falling down the slot. You see the pictures of Eric Izakama right now. He is bricked up too. Cedric ain't out. I don't know, Seti. Anyways, let's get into Tua's offseason. Now, it's just a little clip of Tua here, and then we'll focus on him after that. But he's putting in the work with our receivers right now. Tyreek, Braxton, Waddle. The boys are out in full force. Check it out. Look at Tua. He's just bricked. Woo-wee! He is just bricked. See River Craycraft out here, too.
This shit harder than it looks.
Nasty footwork. See his footwork off the line? It's absolutely disgusting. Tyreek out there. The cheetah had to be out there too.
Oh, yeah. Yes, sir. Great ball, great route. He gone.
Look at the timing, boys and girls. It's flawless. Oh, I got it. Come on, Jaylen. Let's go. These guys are just putting in the work to be the best at their craft. I love every minute of it. I love every minute. It's such a beautiful sight.
Yeah. Shit.
Easy E out here, too. Don't sleep. Woo! Right on the money, River. Right on your nose. Right on the tip of your nose.
You don't need to go like full speed right now. Just get your legs underneath.
Love it. I love watching my team get better and put in the work. This wide receiver room, Denisha, it is insane. This wide receiver room, everyone should have a straight jacket on and put up in a psych ward because it is insane, this wide receiver room. The talent is next level right now. Someone tell me how it isn't. What a sight to behold, ladies and gentlemen. My Lord. And look at Tua. We're going to go over my other shoulder right here, okay? We're going to go over the right shoulder right here, all right? We'll go up to the right shoulder for you guys. Look at that. This man has tree trunk legs. I'm telling you. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. He reminds me, as a Penguins fan, he reminds me so much of Sidney Crosby. It's unbelievable. Even the way they're built, it's unbelievable. Very similar. Tree trunk legs, paws, thick build, really, good low center of gravity and balance. The work ethic is so similar. The leadership style is so similar. And Sidney Crosby brought multiple, 3 championships and 4 Stanley Cup appearances, as well as 5 Eastern Conference final appearances to the city of Pittsburgh. So I'm just saying, multiple MVP awards as well. The work ethic, it's so similar to me. These guys are just built so similarly, even down to the frame. Unbelievable stuff, man. Unbelievable stuff. Got to show love. You got to show respect for our quarterback getting better. And really now you're seeing he's growing into his football body. Physical ailments like the hip and such aren't holding him back now. And he's fine. I told all y'all, we've read all this stuff from neurologists up here, from doctors. He's back to the brain baseline of someone who's never had a concussion before. So his chances of getting concussion are the same as someone who's never had a concussion before. So, man, be excited. This wide receiver room is ridiculous. Our quarterback's putting in the work. Our coach is building a staff. Our defense looks like it's going to match, if not better, the top 10 production our offense put out when Tua was at the helm. Guys, we are a scary team if both sides of the ball are healthy this year, ladies and gentlemen. We are a scary team. I fear no one. Give me the Chiefs on Monday night, week 1. Let's set a tone. I fear no one. Patrick Mahomes is not the boogeyman over here. He's the best quarterback in the NFL, but I believe in Fangio and this defense that's been built right now. And it ain't done yet. We still gonna have over $16 million freed up over June 1st, and we still got the draft to go through. I ain't fearing no one right now. No one. Let's go. Man, I am hyped. All right, Tyreek, he decided to double down on his retirement, and he also doubled down on Tua's accuracy while he was at his camp. Now, he also got worked by a kid for a hoodie, which is a good, funny watch. But let's stick to the talking points. Here's Tyreek talking further on his retirement and then further on Tua's accuracy comparative to a guy like Patrick Mahomes.
Well, I'm very, right now in my life, man, I'm very serious at it. I'm very serious with where I'm at and my stance on that. But, I mean, who knows? 3 years from now, man, I could get offered, re-offered by the Dolphins again, man. I just feel like I just want to go into another space in my life. But, like I said, who knows? I mean, I clearly love the game of football a lot, and I want to play the game of football forever. But, I mean, I also got to think about the other side of it, and that's what I'm beginning to do.
Who's the most accurate quarterback you've worked with?
Who's the most accurate quarterback I ever played with?
Tua.
Yeah, my high school quarterback was pretty accurate. I'm going to nip that in the bud. But Tua is the most accurate quarterback in the NFL.
What about
Wow. There you go. Doubles down. Kid asked him the question, who's the most accurate quarterback you played with? He laughs and jokes about his high school quarterback, but then he drops the real truth, Tua is the most accurate quarterback in the NFL. The man says it with such conviction. He's not saying it just for the fact of saying it. Shout out to Michelle with the $20 donation through the super sticker. I appreciate it, Michelle. I hope you're having a wonderful Easter and a fantastic weekend. I hope you and your loved ones are having a blessed Easter, man. Thank you very much for the donation. Thank you very much, Michelle. I appreciate it. Guys, I appreciate the donations a ton, especially more on videos like this when I know I'm about to get demonetized when we do our big board that we're going to get into in just a few minutes here. We're going to go over top 20 offensive tackles for the NFL draft. And before we get into that, I just want to say, listen, Tyreek Hill, I don't care whether he gasses up my quarterback or not. Tyreek Hill has, I know we all paused a little bit when we saw a receiver was going to be making $30 million in Miami. And since day one, that man has been a team player. Since day one, that man has earned every single penny for a contract where some of us at one time might have thought was outrageous. Not me, but I'm just saying. Years ago, if we thought we were going to pay a receiver, 5 years ago, if we thought we were getting, if you would have said to us in 5 years, you're going to be paying a receiver $30 million a year, we would have probably been like, you're nuts. But Tyreek has been the epitome of a team player. And I am just such a huge fan of him. The growth we've seen from Waddle under him, the growth we've seen from Tua under him, that man has been invaluable. And listen, I hope he keeps his speed and his athleticism even at the age of 32 and re-ups for a year or two at a team-friendly deal and retires a Dolphin and wins a couple Super Bowls here. I really do. I want him to win a couple Super Bowls here, retire a Dolphin, and go into the Hall of Fame as a Dolphin. Because I think Tyreek Hill is going to go down as one of the best receivers and athletes we've ever seen in this game. And I want him going into the Hall of Fame in aqua and orange. So let's win him a championship or two. I mean, he's already setting team records. Let's have him keep setting records in our jersey. And it'll just be the natural course of things. So hopefully we reach that point. Because I'm a huge Tyreek fan. Huge Tyreek fan. So, all right. Let's, Hill is worth 6 times his weight in gold. I agree with that. That man is worth every single dollar. 420 of you in the room. Smash that like button. Let's get into this. J. Rose says, if we don't draft an OT, is the draft a failure? No, it's not. Because, hey, you can still... There's still restricted free agent options, right? So let's see what happens. All right. Let's get into this. My big board for the 2023 draft. Let's start off, as we always do, with the honorable mentions. So for me, at 20, we got... Well, let's get this out of the way first. So... Cody Mock out of North Dakota State University. Richard Gorridge out of Florida. Braden Daniels out of Utah. And Graham Barton out of Duke. I have kicked all of those guys to guards. They are guards under my evaluation. That's why you will not see those names on this board. FYI. So I'm setting that for y'all right now, okay? You will not see Cody Mock, Richard Gorridge, Braden Daniels, or Graham Barton because they are guards. Remember I told you I talked about I watched 25 players and 4 of them I moved to guards. Those were the 4 I moved to guards, FYI. All right, let's start off here. At 20, I got Dalton Wagner from Arkansas. Strong run blocker who plays with an absolute mean streak on every rep. Displays a strong, sturdy anchor. Sloppy hands, though, and his pad level is consistently high. Allows defenders into his chest way too easily. At 19, I got Ryan Hayes out of Michigan. Displays really good upper body strength with an edge to his style of play. Loves being physical in the trenches, but can have leverage issues at 6'7". Good feet that move fluidly into his kick slide and shows the ability to recover pretty well if beaten off the snap by a speed rusher. Decent athlete who played left tackle, some right tackle as a sophomore, but doesn't have right vice grip hands. And rushers with versatile pass rush movesets can give him serious issues with a second move, like, for example, a swim move. At 18, Earl Bostic Jr. out of Kansas. Former tight end and shows it in his smooth footwork, ability in open space, overall impressive athletic profile. Good length to his frame, good hand placement, strong hands. Hard for defenders to rip or swim off of him. Can play at an inconsistent pad level and can use some more lower body strength to improve his anchor at the next level. Jackson Kirkland, I know some people have him shifted to guard, not me. I think he's a smart player who's technically sound, has smooth, quick feet, transitions to his kick slide well, and takes really great angles in open space. He's a scheme versatile player. He's proved he can play tackle or guard, though I think he's built to play tackle. That's why I have him as a tackle. Needs to get a little bit stronger, though. Technically, he's sound with great hands and a stud in pass, bro. But it's noticeable his core strength needs improvement with his anchor and in the run game. So he just needs, he needs strength and conditioning coach at the NFL level. At 16, Sim Richards out of North Carolina. Great length to his frame, 34 inches, good bend to his knee, has good balance and displays more than a sufficient amount of strength. Great first step off the snap. Good solid footwork, loves to play mean, especially when his team is running the ball. Hand placement needs to be cleaned up, can get wide with them outside of defenders' pads, opens themselves up in the leverage game as well. Number 15, a guy who, we've heard the Dolphins like. I got him at 15, and that's Blake Freeland. He's a really good athlete who seems at home in open space with fluid feet. Takes smart angles and can play right tackle, left tackle, though he does look a little stiff when he moves vertically. Perfect scheme fit as a BYU, played outside zone, so he could transition well and very easily at the next level. It's just really a terminology thing for him. His height's probably his downfall with his leverage, as he plays really high at times, and like some others in this draft, his anchor needs some help. At 14, out of Boise State, John Ojukwu. Really good athlete with a deal length and violent, active, bear paw-like hands. Didn't give up a single sack in 2022. Can play left tackle or right tackle, which is a huge plus. Smooth, quick feet and displays the ability to mirror well, but can sometimes lose a leverage battle. Plays with plays at a really high level consistently. Gonna need to be cleaned up technique-wise at the next level. Carter Warren. Crazy length, 35-inch arms, 85-inch wingspan, active, violent hands that are usually placed well, vice-like grip, and he displays really good play strength overall. Strong anchor, good feet, and shows the ability to mirror and stay square with defenders. He's just okay in space, and he's displayed some issues with handling speed rushers off the edge, and, I worry about him at the next level with that. Another Old Dominion making the list here, Nick Saliveri, can play right tackle, right guard, or center at the next level. Very versatile along the offensive line. Really smart player. Takes great angles in space. ID blitzes well. Stunts and loops really don't phase him. Displays a really great anchor. Strong punch. Takes on contact really well. And his hands are probably some of the best in this class. The biggest knock on him is going to be competition played. At 11... Warren McClendon, who, again, right tackle at Georgia, right? One of the sleepers in this draft and a perfect fit at right tackle. While I'd call not giving up a sack in your last 30 SEC games as a really huge plus, because he hasn't. Good burst and first step off the line. Displays really nice footwork, smooth into his kick slide. Climbs to the second level easily when tasked and plays well in open space. High football IQ, picks up stunts, loopers, blitzes, no issue. Really, I'd love to see him develop some nastiness, a little too much Jane in him, to his game. And I think it would make him a better body mover, and I think he'd be more dominant in run sets if he was a little bit more nastier. That's what I think, at least. So, fan, though. At number 10, Wenya Morris out of Oklahoma. Some of the strongest hands in this class that pack more pop than a can of soda. If he gets a hold of you, he's tough to shed, swim or rip off of, and he's moving you at his will. High football IQ, seals off defenders with ease, and can play both right tackle and left tackle while playing with that nastiness you love to see. Feet so light he can walk on a cloud. Moves well into his kick slide, climbs to the second level, no problem. Needs to improve his core strength, and he is susceptible to letting defenders get across his face at times. But I am a big fan of him. Let me tell you that. Jaylen Duncan. I didn't think he'd be this low, on my preseason rankings, but here we are. Great quick feet, good athleticism, good lateral movement, shows the ability to mirror defenders well and consistently. Always looking to engage with the defender, whether at the line of scrimmage or when he gets to the second level. Really good base, plus has probably one of the most ideal tackle frames of this whole class. Strong hands while showing the ability to counter rip moves, swim moves, and bull rushes. Definitely took a step back this year. Didn't display the power you saw in years before. His balance was a little iffy, and he was sloppy with his hand placement. Got beat inside a lot this year. Tyler Steen, someone I'm a little higher on than most, I think. Scheme versatility, can line up at right tackle, left guard, or offensive guard. I think people are sleeping on him in this draft because he's one of those few that consistently shown you can leave him on an island with no help and he's successful. Strong initial punch, consistently showing good hand placement in defenders' pads and rarely misses a block. Really smart player, IDs, blitzes, stunts, and loopers. Plus, he takes good angles in space. He's going to have to improve his core strength to really be a factor in terms of moving bodies in the run game. Sometimes you can notice the anchor lacking. Number 7 for me, Matthew Bergeron out of Syracuse. One of the best athletes of the tackle class with some of the quickest, most fluid feet. Bergeron is explosive out of his stance, moves very good laterally, mirrors easily, and has the ability to take on speed or power rushers. Strong anchor. When he sinks his hips and locks his arms out, it's pretty much a wrap for a defender. Processes defenses so well, with the blitzes, stunts. They don't get past him, and he can play left tackle or right tackle. His thing is he's going to need to play at a lower pad level consistently, as this affects his balance, and it can cause him issues in the leverage game. Number 6 for me, Anton Harrison, one of the best movers in this class. Fluid hips, quick feet, explosive first step into his kick slide with great lateral movement, which helps him mirror speed rushers trying to get around him to the outside. Strong in pass pro, like really strong in pass pro. Arcs speed rushers out wide and has the core strength to absorb contact from power rushers. Motor never stops and his legs keep churning, though when he sinks his hips and drops his anchor, it's strong, and he has the ability to recover and reset easily too, I've seen on tape. Works well in space, climbing to the second level, passing off blocks, is strong on reach blocks, backside blocks, and when tasked with pulling. I think the areas he needs to clean up is hand placement, as he's inconsistent with them, whether he's late or sometimes he gets too low into a defender's pads, I've noticed. So he cleans that up. Anton Harrison, he's a stud, man. He is really good. I'm a big fan. Big fan. And I really think especially once you get in these top 10, when you look at Frank Smith and Mike McDaniel, and don't even factor in Butch Berry. Those guys alone will develop these studs. All right, let's get into the top 5 here. Let's start off. For me, DeJuan Jones. I don't know who serves up more pancakes on a yearly basis, DeJuan Jones or IHOP. Once he clamps down with his hands, it's damn near impossible for a defender to disengage or shed him with a rip move or even swim move, and good luck trying to get through him with a bull rush. Those hands produce a powerful stab punch as well, and all he has to do is get them on you, and you're on your heels moving backwards. Just a complete hole opener in the run game. I constantly saw run lanes open up, and he's a finisher. Doesn't matter the size of the defender. His anchor is easily one of the strongest of this class, wide base, and consistently stays square to defenders. Natural right tackle. No transitional pains from the left side, which is a huge plus. And I'll be honest with you guys, I think he moves very well for a man his size at 6'8". He is unbelievable. He is an unbelievable athlete, I think. Don't sleep on him. When I look at DeJuan Jones, I think where his problem lies is his footwork. Sometimes you can catch him crossing his feet, and his feet can get sloppy at times. If you stop them churning, it's never a good thing. And sometimes he can overset and pass pro. And when you stop churning your feet or you overset and pass pro, that affects your balance in your game. So I think he's going to have to clean that stuff up at the next level. Big fan, though. Broderick Jones from Georgia. He's at 4, 6'5", 311, with not an ounce of baby fat on his frame. Broderick Jones is an impressive athlete. That's one of the best mirrors in this class who can be effective pulling or moving bodies downhill. He moves so quickly with nimble feet, gets into his kick slide as smooth as anyone in this class, and is really deadly in open space, as he's a highly intelligent player, too, who always takes good angles due to high-level awareness, plays at a consistently good pad level, and I saw some of the best balance in this tackle class too from him. Strong recovery ability, whether he's overtaken on initial contact due to power or by a speed rusher with an explosive first step to the outside. In 19 starts, he allowed 2 sacks, which came in 2021, where he started only 4 games, as he didn't allow a single one in the 15 games he started in 2022. Scheme versatile. I think he excels in a gap or an outside zone scheme, can swallow up double teams if he's needed, while also displaying that high IQ I alluded to earlier to ID blitzes, stunts, and loopers with no issue. For me, his biggest area of development will be technique. To me, he allows defenders into his chest with inconsistent hand placement and is susceptible to giving up the inside to defenders. But you look at him here, look at him just open up holes, man. He is a mover. Very impressive. I want you to watch this. Look at the hole he opens up right there. Unbelievable. 4-6 in the national championship. Broderick Jones is an impressive man at left tackle. Unbelievable stuff. Big fan of Broderick Jones. At number 3, Paris Johnson Jr. at 6'6", 313 with a 36 1/8 inch arm length and 9.5 inch hands. He is a prototypical build for an offensive tackle. Absolute mauler in the run game who can pull, be trusted to lead block, or for your running back. Will take a linebacker's head off at the second level and keeps his legs driving as he has a nasty side to him. Explosive out of his stance, keeps his hands active and violent while displaying an excellent anchor with stout upper body and clubs for hands to match. Good flexibility, fluid hips. Paris Johnson Jr. looks like he could project to either side of the offensive line at the next level, though he played right guard and left tackle at Ohio State. Absorbs blocks at the point of contact with no problem while keeping a solid base and balance. Really agile for a man his size, and it shows with his overall lateral quickness and movement with some of the quickest feet in this class. He looks to finish every single block and doesn't stop until he hears the whistle, as he has a never give up type of motor. I think lack of experience is probably his biggest downfall, and it kind of shows up when he's tasked at IDing blitzes and stunts and loopers. You know, he can get caught being impatient. Another thing I've seen too is, you know, he can also get caught lunging at defenders. So that is stuff he's going to get cleaned up. But it's just a down to me for experience for Paris Johnson. But you look at them, all the traits and tools to be a top-level guy. Number 2 for me, Peter Skoronski from Northwestern. Peter Skoronski may not be the most imposing tackle, but he's so explosive at his stance. He's an absolute technician at the tackle position. He's like the Tim Duncan of tackles in this class. You know, boring, but he won't do anything pretty, but he does the job and does it very efficiently and effectively. Elite balance and ability to mirror with high-level lateral quickness and elite awareness in his game. Keeps his legs driving consistently and displays a firm, wide base. Stays squares to defenders and is almost always at a good pad level. Even if defenders get a step on him or take a better angle, Skoronski displays such sound recovery skills and ability. Can't stress his IQ enough, whether diagnosing the defense, his ability to handle counter moves from defenders after the first move doesn't work, or his understanding of angles once he's in space. Probably the best hands in terms on a consistent placement into a defender's pads of this class. Again, he's so technically sound. Strong anchor once he has a defender clasped down and he drops his hips, it's pretty much over for that said defender. His biggest knocks is going to be his length, comparable to the man he replaced at Northwestern, Rashawn Slater. But I think he's so clean in most other areas, he'll compensate at the next level. So I don't see him having to play guard at the next level to make it. I think he's going to be just fine at tackle. Listen, we all knew the length showed up on tape, so I'm not letting that affect what I'm seeing on tape. He is a very talented individual, a very talented player. And, you know, even I fell a little bit into the void of putting Rashawn Slater at guard, and I was wrong. And I think, you know, with Skoronski here, leave him at tackle. He's just a technician. You know, Bret Hart, the excellence of execution. That's what this guy is, man. That's what he is. So very impressive player. Number 1, you know I'm going there, baby. I'm all in if you haven't figured it out. Darnell Wright is the perfect fit for this team. So based on my like of his tape, comparative to where all the tackles in this class, no one's a better fit for what we need than Darnell Wright, and he is a goddamn beast. All right? Some of the most powerful hands in this class. His punch can destroy defenders' worlds, as they are the strongest and most violent in this class, in my opinion. Has a resume against top rushers. He handled Travon Walker, who was the number 1 pick last year, easily when he faced him. And look what he did to Will Anderson. No issues. Just clamped down Will Anderson of Alabama. You know, this man is a stud. So powerful, but he still shows the agility with the lateral movement and the quickness. He's explosive out of his stance, displays great flexibility in his hips. To me, he has the best anchor of this class as well. It's on display whenever a power rusher takes him on, especially if they attempt to bull rush him. Good luck to you, good sir. Very smart player that's really experienced, as he's been a starter since his freshman year, playing 2,746 snaps, and has developed his ability to diagnose defenses year by year very well. Can play left tackle or right tackle. One of the best in this class in open space too. Climbs to the second level quickly and lines linebackers or defensive backs don't stand a snowball's chance in hell. The biggest thing to me is he doesn't have top-end foot quickness. Sometimes he's laid out of his stance due to this, but other than that, he is the man. Give me Darnell Wright all day. This is why I'm mad that Ross cost us a pick, because this would have changed everything for this franchise. Darnell Wright, tackle 1 on my big board. I don't want to hear it. Okay? He's number 1 if you're making a big board for the Dolphins, and he's number 1 if you're making a tackle big board. Darnell Wright is that dude. All right? He got the resume. All right? He got more stars on that resume than the question mark box has got on a Mario level. All right? Let me tell you that. So, Darnell Wright, he's my number 1 tackle. Smash that like button, because there's over 400 of you here. Please, smash that like button. Subscribe if you're new. Darnell Wright is that dude. Don't try and tell me any different. Really, I like a lot of those. I love DeJuan Jones. Broderick Jones. He's a beast. You know, Skronsky's a beast, but Darnell Wright is what this team needs right now. Listen, I like Bergeron too. Wenya Morris. Don't give it. There's a lot of guys in the top 10 I like. Darnell Wright is the answer. And that's why I'm bitter that we lost that pick. So, listen, guys, I appreciate y'all for coming through. Please smash that like button on the way out. Subscribe if you're new. We're on our way. We're about 40 away from 11,100. So let's get there. I appreciate all of y'all for coming through. I'm going to be live this week as well, shooting for tomorrow night too on Monday. So we'll see how that all works out. We'll be back this week again. Fin Too Deep, the finish line. I'll be dropping my linebacker big board. And then this week on Patreon and on the community tab for channel members, I will let you guys vote on the 5th and final board for Patrons. 3 takes will be up sometime later tonight. So be on the lookout for that. I appreciate all of y'all for coming through. Again, please smash the like button on the way out. Subscribe if you're new. Fins up all day.